Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of my makeup for beginners. This half of the video is going to be how I transition from the look I showed you in part 1, the daytime look, into this look right here, which is the nighttime look. So if you'd like to see how I went from the look in part 1 to this current look, then please keep on watching. Okay, now for a nighttime look. I don't own a drugstore brow pencil that I really like, but this one is by ColourPop. It's only $6, so it's drugstore priced at least. So what I like to do is I like to go in and define my eyebrows a little bit more. So moving on to the Maybelline Nudes palette, I'm going to be taking this gold shade on my finger and pressing it into the center of my lid. Now, don't worry if it covers up your black eyeliner because you're going to be going over that, or brown eyeliner, whatever you've placed. You might have to do a couple coats. These aren't the most pigmented shadows in the world. You can also wet your brush with a little Fix Plus to get more impact. Or you can use any gold that you have that maybe packs a little bit more of a punch. But this really isn't a bad palette for a beginner because sometimes when you are a beginner, you don't want such intense pigmented shadows because there's a tendency to overdo it at that point. With these, at least you can build up. Now I'm taking the black shade and that little brush we used for the outer corner for the daytime eye. I'm going to take a tissue and I'm going to fold it and place it on the side of my eye on an angle just to catch the fallout because our eyes are already, our concealer's already on and we don't want to have to touch up too much. And this is also going to give it a nice angle. So if you're doing your left eye, you're holding the tissue with your right hand, kind of spreading your fingers out like this, and then just pressing the black right into the outer corner. Really just pushing it in there. So you can kind of see I'm going down to the lash line and the outer corner and just pushing. And I'm really not coming in far at all. And then I'm wiping my brush a little bit off on the tissue to get a lot of the excess off and then starting to blend it out some more. That way you don't need to reach for another brush to blend. You've just gotten most of the color off, so now you can just blend with the same brush. So then when you move the tissue away, you have a nice angle with no fallout. This step is of course optional. You can just go back over with your black eyeliner pencil. I'm going to take a liquid liner from NYX. It's very, very black. It is very, very inexpensive. And it's very, very long wearing as well. You can also use a gel eyeliner if you'd like. You can make a wing, you cannot make a wing, whatever you like. If you struggle to do a wing, don't do it. Then I'm going back in with that L'Oreal pencil and lining the inner rims of my eyes. Then I'm going in with this white and I'm once again enhancing my tear ducts. Enhancing my tear ducts? Highlighting my tear ducts. I don't know if that's enhancing really. And you can also add a little bit more to under your brow bone. Now, of course, you can leave your eyes right here. You do not have to put on fake lashes. I personally like to put on lashes. I'm using just some wispies from Ardell. And what I tell people, if they have a hard time wearing eyelashes, if they feel like it irritates the inner corner of their eye, take the lash and trim it. Just cut off the end and only apply that end to the outer corner of your lashes. but you have to make sure that the lash is one that has a gradient, where it goes shorter on the inner corner and longer on the outer corner, and always trim from the outer corner so you're safe, but be sure to save that gradient, and then just place it from like the center of your eye out. So like with this lash, I already have to cut mine pretty small because my eyes are so small, but I would cut off maybe one or two more segments and just put these last three, almost like a bundle, right on the edge of the lash. You can also cut up a strip lash and apply it in pieces if that's easier for you. So I'm just gonna pop this on real quick and be right back. So the eyes are done, the nighttime eyes are finished, and now I wanna add a little contouring. I'm gonna be taking this Fit Me concealer in a really dark color. This is 355, well, really dark color for me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it and I'm just going to swipe under my cheekbones. I'm gonna suck in my cheeks, go swipe, swipe, a little bit on my forehead, a little bit under my chin, and down the sides of my nose. Then I'm going to be taking my beauty blender and just patting it into my skin. Pressing it into my skin, actually. Did I say under my chin? I meant to say under my lip. Now you can add more blush if you'd like. At this point, I'm just gonna add a little highlighter. I'm going to be using Hard Candy Honeymoon, and I'm just gonna use my finger to apply it. And then finally, I'm gonna keep the same lip color, but I'm gonna add a little clear gloss. And this clear gloss is from Rimmel. So now our night look is completed. And it only took a few more minutes and just adding a couple things to take it from day to night. And the key products used in taking this to a nighttime look was simply a little shimmer, a little gold shimmer, a liquid liner, a matte black shadow. You can use a charcoal if black is just not your thing, if it's too dark. Again, it was a liquid liner, a gel liner, or you can just keep using your pencil. I also added a little contour. You can use a powder contour, or this is just an inexpensive way, an easy way to contour that I think is really, really nice and subtle. You can also add some highlighter and then clear gloss. So just a few more items that took it. Oh, and of course, the lashes. Did I say that already? Lashes completely optional. You can do some individual clusters. I mean, you can do some individuals, some clusters, some corner lashes, whatever you feel comfortable with. So this concludes my makeup for beginners video, daytime and nighttime look. I know I can't please everybody. I'm sure there are going to be those of you out there who feel like this wasn't beginner enough. I did my best to instruct you in the way that I would have instructed a client when I was working at the retail level, or if I had a private client and I was doing a lesson. It is a very similar look to what I would teach them. I went over some of the brushes. I did stick with using drugstore makeup because I feel like if you are a beginner, it is best to start not going out and dropping a ton of money on products. While yes, some of the high-end products might perform better than some of their lower end or drugstore counterparts, I feel like there are some true gems to be found at the drugstore. These products that you saw me use today are all products I would recommend to anybody. Again, this nudes palette, sure, it is not gonna be as pigmented as like say a Lorac palette or a Too Faced palette, but for a beginner, I mentioned it in the demo, sometimes too much pigment, there's just much more room for error, and a sheerer formulation is really actually a good thing for a beginner because you can learn to layer and learn to blend a little bit easier. All of these products can be found easily at your local drugstore or at Ulta or online. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask in the comments. I am happy to answer all of your questions. Also, if you are not subscribed, please do. It means so much to me. And also let me know what other kind of videos you would like to see. If you would like to see more beginner videos, let me know. If there's something specific that you have a question about and you want to see a video on it, also let me know that as well. So that said, I once again thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.